everybody, and welcome back to the Strange Exchange, episode 41. Today, we're joined with Raghu, mine and Rob's buddy, who was on a couple dozen episodes ago. But today, we're going to talk about our top five favorite movies, just in general, by our own personal rating with its significance. Thanks for joining us, Raghu.
Of course. Thanks for having me
Hello?
back. 40 some episodes later.
There he is.
Oh, I know.
41?
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, because you were on an episode 2 with us. You've been on 2 before. So
He was on sometime
he was
in the
on episode
30s.
3, and he was on episode. He was on episode I don't know because
Oh no,
I forget half of these.
You don't want me here.
We don't want
No,
him
actually, no, we don't. You can
Face
leave
it.
anytime.
Oh,
No, you were
wow,
on
yeah.
with. I think it was. I can't remember the episode, but it was rather recent. It wasn't like that long ago, I don't think.
Yeah, I think we recorded some content, but I think
well, that too. I know we did something. Episode 23 was the last one you were on.
Right.
So it's been a while. That was like 10 months ago, but you're back. And we're going to talk about, like you said, our top 5 favorite films. Now, this is not like critique wise in terms of, oh, this film is great for this reason. No, it's just what we find entertaining, what we can watch anytime and being just completely entertained by it no matter how many times.
Anywhere. Planet Fitness.
Except if I see Emperor's New Groove on somebody's list.
Whoa.
I'm going to throw a fit.
Everybody on the internet to know that this guy doesn't like Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
This guy freaking sucks. Yeah, you and like T-Reed and 2 other people. That
do we have a quote today?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Rob, because we sure do. So here we go. We got better remain silent, better not even think if you are not prepared to act. That is Annie Besant. Don't know who that is, but thank you, Annie.
All right. I like it.
I'll look her up. But anyways.
All right. Well, how do we get this thing kicked off? Because
who wants to start?
I'm halfway through my vodka drink here, so I'm trying to amplify the mood.
Big boy drink out. Oh, you know what that means.
Yeti
Cup.
We'll start out with because we did it.
Let's start with Raghu.
We did it 5 through 1 or 1 through 5, whichever. We'll start at 5. Oh, stop it! I'll talk as long as I need to.
Well, I'll kick us off here, and kind of like what we've said, these films are not critically acclaimed, although some of them might be. They're not the most high quality in terms of, I don't know, cinematography, story, whatever. But I think starting with my top 5, my number 5 goes to Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire. Can watch it all the time. I know how we feel about having comic book movies on this list, but that is my number 5.
It's entertainment based. I mean, if you enjoy it, enjoy it. Yeah, Spider-Man 2. I don't think it's not my favorite of the 3. My favorite still probably is
first
3. I always like the third one. The first one's good too, but I've always liked the third one. Give me rent. I like that part.
But you give me rent.
But no, what's your reasoning here, Raghu, for Spider-Man 2?
I think we could go a couple of different routes, and I would say it's my favorite for sure comic book film, as we see Spider-Man in his most classic and comic written form, right? He's facing Doc Ock, most classic villain for Spider-Man. I don't know, and you just see, although Spider-Man 2, yes, it's entertaining, but you also, I feel like you learn a lot of lessons from Spider-Man 2. We see Spider-Man, we see, Peter Parker go through a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Great movie. I will say I do love the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, James Franco, obviously. Fantastic films.
Let's
Amazing. 10 out of
I'm
10.
I'm pass it on over to Rob here. What's your number 5 pick, Rob?
You get the talking stick now.
Great. My number 5, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. It's actually one of my favorites. With Cuba Gooding Jr. and Lawrence Fishburne in Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
Very,
Good movie.
very dramatic tale to kind of that lower impoverished life, and just kind of the things you get into. Ice Cube's in it as well. He plays a role as well, and it's actually, I think it's his first film, if I'm not mistaken. So this kind of kicked off his acting career. But it's a really good movie, just very emotional, very good story to it. There's comedic parts too, but it's a great film. A must see if you really need to watch a movie.
I think I seen that movie when I was a lot younger and I didn't fully understand it. But
Yep.
I somehow have always realized that was a good movie. Like I knew that, but I just never watched it as an adult. So like I didn't pick up on everything in the movie, like what's happening and all the character development and stuff like that. But deep down I knew it was a good movie and yeah, I guess
And I think
interesting.
too, a lot of the morals and the values in that movie continue into today. It's like you go in like these in these inner city neighborhoods and there's a lot of liquor stores, there's a lot of smoke
Yeah,
shops, a lot of places for you to indulge in bad habits, and
yeah.
there's really very little school systems, things like that to get you improved. So it's a really good movie in that way. Lawrence Fishburne again is fantastic. You know him from The Matrix. He plays in that as Morpheus,
Morpheus.
yeah, he does a really good job in this role. And Ice Cube plays a really good, just kind of thuggish character. Because
Oh,
he
you
looked
gotta
at,
love Ice Cube.
yeah, and again, this is his first film. This is what kicked off all the other films that he's been in throughout his years. So,
Yeah, solid pick, Rob.
all right,
Very,
Andrew,
very so.
you're on the clock.
All right, so disclaimer before I start my list here. Once I start the truck, I'm on the fucking clock. Sign it so I can get started. Just kidding. Okay. Anyways, yeah, this list was extremely hard for me to formulate here, and I had to juggle the movies around a little bit. So just I know you guys aren't too like crazy about where we put movies, but anyways, my number 5, I put Goodwill Hunting. This is a very, very, very good movie to me. There's just so much to the movie. I mean, Rob knows. Huge fan of Robin Williams. I love most of Robin Williams movies. There's very few that I don't enjoy, but this one is definitely one of his best ones, in my opinion. I love the character he plays in this movie. He plays as a psychiatrist, and I think he is a professor in psychology, if I'm not mistaken. But he just plays a really like intelligent, decent, well mannered professor in person, and he helps Matt Damon, who plays as Will, the title, Good Will Hunting.
Mhm.
He helps Will out in this journey to find himself,
I say
and
Will's kind of an underachiever. He's very smart, but
yes, he's hyper intelligent, hyper intelligent.
he doesn't put a lot of stock into himself.
Yep, he has some trauma. So I won't make too many spoilers, but he's got some past trauma from
Yeah.
things that happened to him as a kid, and
But
it's
boy, he's
like a
wicked smart.
blockage. Yeah, exactly. And then yeah, good old what's his face is in there.
I don't like Ben Affleck.
Ben
I'll say
Affleck.
that right off the
I
start.
like
I'm not
Ben
a
Affleck,
fan.
but then I know there's some mixed feelings about him as a person and stuff. A lot of people like just don't really care for him, hence Rob's feelings towards him. But I did like Matt Damon, or not, I did like Ben Affleck in that movie too. Ben Affleck. But yeah, it was
Oh,
a
God.
very, very good movie. I actually wanted to put that one more towards the bottom. But since we said that we were doing these kind of movies that we can kind of watch over and over and never get sick of, I just put it at 5. So
Oh,
yeah,
I can respect that list. You know, it's a very classic film.
no, yeah, I wouldn't say. I mean, I guess I don't know what you mean by classic, but
Well, it's Robin Williams in a non-comedic role. That's what
sure,
makes it iconic
but
because he
yeah,
stepped outside of the box a little bit. I mean, he's done dramatic roles before, but they were never as heavy as this was. This was a very heavy film.
yeah,
So really good choice, honestly.
one of
And
my
it is,
yeah,
Matt
one of my
Damon,
favorite movies.
actually right around that time, he was kind of into those dramatic roles. He did Saving Private Ryan, I think the year after.
Yeah.
So
Oh, dude, I was so close to putting that on this list, but
I
like I
say, I just
said,
rewatched that the other day, and I was like, man, I forget how great this film actually
the movie
is.
is so good, dude.
Yeah, but he
I
plays.
didn't put
He
it
only
in my
plays
list
till the
for the.
end. Like he's not even in the film all the way through. So it's
Hmm.
kind of interesting.
Yeah, he's towards the end, and he's just like, what the fuck, man?
All right, Regu, what do we got for number 4 out of
Like,
you?
is it?
It's gonna be
All right,
Spider-Man
number
1.
number 4. Kind of came out around the
Jungle
same
Book.
time as yeah, no, kind of came around the same time as Spider-Man 2 did. I'm actually not sure if you've all seen this, but kind of on this whole Lawrence Fishburne train is the movie
Mhm.
21.
Oh,
Oh, the card one, yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
I have not.
It's
It's
the
a
kid counts cards, right? I'm trying to remember
yeah,
the.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
actually
okay.
it's a true story. It's this kid
I've
from I
seen it
believe
once.
yeah, it's this kid that MIT smartest kid, and one of the smartest kids in the world, ends up
Hmm.
joining a college group of kids led by one of the professors. Who in the film, the professor is played by Kevin Spacey. You know, we don't talk about Kevin Spacey now,
Of
but
course not. No.
yeah, but the main kid, I think his name
Yeah.
is Ben Campbell. That's his actual name. Is played by Jim Sturgis.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Yes, but no, really good film. Probably one of the main reasons what got me into playing blackjack now. I just love the way it's done, and it's bingeable. You know, is it the best movie in the world? Probably not, but I can watch it nonstop.
I was gonna say it's kind of an interesting choice. Not what I ever would expect. Okay, outside of whatever Kevin Spacey has done, okay, we know he's not the greatest personal human being, but he has done some really good projects. So you can never take that away from him. And Lawrence Fishburne, yeah, I forget that he was in that movie. Actually, he's played in some really good roles, man. What a guy.
Yeah,
Um,
Lawrence did a great job, and I think the whole cast was great. I thought it was cast really well.
mhm.
But yeah, that's my number 4. How about yours, Rob?
Well, my number 4 is a movie that I think it doesn't get enough love, and because it's hard to explain. It's Leonardo DiCaprio in Gangs of New York.
Oh man,
Um,
Oh,
Now
what,
Scorsese gets credit for a lot of films, okay?
what a twist.
And of course, Casino, Goodfellas, Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, even more recent, The Wolf of Wall Street, and now The Irishman. Gangs of New York is kind of one of those ones that is in his catalog. It's an
you
awesome
forget
watch. Daniel Day-Lewis is incredible. This guy is impressive. The way he plays this character, he's such a hateable person. He does it so well. Must see if you. I think it's still on Netflix. It might not be, but I know it was on there for a while. Definitely a movie I can watch anytime. And Leo plays a good character too, and Cameron Diaz is in it as well. She plays a little bit of a thief, kind of a cool character.
no,
Uh,
I could
Huh,
be wrong,
I can get
but
behind that.
and your
I
boy John C. Riley from Step Brothers is in it too. He plays an officer. He plays the sheriff from early New York, because this is set in like the early 1800s, like I think in like the 1840s. It starts out and then it goes into like the 1860s. So
right.
it's when
And
when Europeans, when they were already over here, they called themselves natives, and then when Irish people would come over, they hated them. They hated the Irish. They couldn't stand them.
Mhm.
So that's what it's
Yeah.
based on.
I could be wrong. Well, we know Scorsese and Leo partner a lot, but I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is this their first duo film together?
I think for Leo, I think it was. I think it was Leo's first film with Scorsese. Obviously, he's done like The Departed and
Oh, it
obviously
was, yeah.
Wolf of
It
Wall
is
Street.
I just looked it up. The Gangs of New York.
This movie to me just absolutely fantastic. In the same year, of course, when this movie came out, Catch Me If You Can came out too, which I think
Cool,
more
great
people
film,
gravitate towards
Oh,
that one with Leo.
Great
fantastic movie.
But that's my number 4. Andrew, what do we got?
So I can't even tell you how many times I've been juggling these because this is hard for me. Anyways, I did Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, another
Uh,
Robin. Look at that. Robin's
yeah,
taking the list.
he's taking over. I don't know if you guys. I mean, I know Rob's seen Mrs. Doubtfire. Have you seen it, Regu?
I have.
Oh, bit of a pause there. We got a little critic in the house here. Huh?
Yeah, I don't. It's not that I disagree with your choice. I just don't
Fair
agree.
enough.
He just doesn't
Okay.
think Robin Williams is a good cross-dresser. That's what he's going with here. He's
Well,
like,
it's
yeah, he
not
just doesn't look the part.
Well, he was this. It wasn't in at the time. Now it's in. So if he did it nowadays,
It
I would
was
have
definitely
gravitated
before
more
its
towards.
time.
Hey, that's all right. First off, I really like this movie because, again, it's a very nostalgic movie for me, and it's obviously Robin Williams, fantastic actor, rest in peace. But this movie just hits home with me super hard. Reminds me of my family a lot when I was younger. It's a good movie for adults, kids, and teens, in my opinion, because it hits a lot of different humor sparks. There's obviously a lot of adult references in there and jokes, and there's just some corny, cheesy stuff in there. It's very playful. It's a positive movie. It's very warm. It hits the feels a little bit. It's just got a lot of atmosphere to it, in my opinion. It's very, very well done with all the little kind of aspects in it for how people can view it differently at different ages and with different moods and stuff. So yeah, that one's another heavy hitter for me. I really like that movie, and I will always treasure it. So that is my
Oh,
number
dearie.
4.
You know,
Oh,
good pick.
oh, you're such a mother piece of shit.
All right, we're on to number 3. What do we got, Raghu?
We're coming down to things. So number 3 for me is a little bit different than what I'd on my list so far. It's
Your list has been really different. So,
yeah, it's unpredictable. This one I think you guys can respect. So number 3 again, bingeable. Kind of ties in what I love about this genre and what is needed in this genre. So I'm gonna go with The Cabin in the Woods.
Ooh, I like
I
that movie.
I didn't expect a horror
That
film
is a good
to make it in
movie.
the list. I
Right. So
seriously
here's
was
You should
not.
have put Shining in there, but hey, we'll take this one. No, I'm just kidding. All right,
yeah.
go on.
As I was going through my list, you guys know I'm a huge horror fan, huge horror
Absolutely.
fanatic. Like even just watching, creating horror projects, things like that. And
Spooky
I was
stuff.
I was between 3 films on this list. And I guess why not? I'll just give 2 honorable mentions for my horror list. And again, not great films, but well, some of them are good, but just bingeable. My first honorable mention is The Conjuring, and yes, we know there's
Oh,
so
that's
many.
another
There's a lot
fantastic
of
horror movie.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of, haunted house movies, yada yada yada. But I
Yeah.
think James Wan just kind of recreates the genre in a way, and in a way that's really unique in the way James Wan can tell a story. Um, and my second honorable mention goes to Train to Busan. If you guys have ever seen Train to Busan,
I've always
Mm.
wanted to watch. It's a zombie movie, right?
yep,
In like
Korean,
China or Korea? Korea?
yep. And so the reason I chose The Cabin in the Woods is I think it ties in, the idea of haunted house, something goes
Ooh,
wrong
yeah.
in the woods, slasher type film, but it's really a satire and commentary on horror films, and I think
Isn't
it's
that
done.
sorry, isn't that based off of that one movie, the what the heck is that movie called? The book or whatever? The series, the dude with the chainsaw arm or whatever. What is that?
Texas.
No,
The
no, no, no.
Cabin in the Woods.
Is that what the series is called?
No, the Keb. No, I don't know. I think we're thinking of
Oh, what
something.
is that?
Well, I know the
That
Cabin in the Woods is
isn't that kind of
like,
what it's making fun of?
I think they're making more of like a satire,
The Evil
like
Dead, the Evil Dead. Yes,
oh,
they're
it's
making fun of the
okay.
Evil Dead in a sense, to an
That I
extent.
see.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a
okay,
big parody essentially.
okay.
But yeah, definitely can watch it on and on repeat for sure. So that's my number three. Gotta throw a horror film on there. I'll pass it over to you, Rob.
That is a great movie.
My
Good
number
call. Good
three,
call.
uh, is that you, John Wayne? Is this me? Full Metal Jacket is
Oh,
my number
dude,
three.
excellent choice.
Nice.
I
Excellent.
I can watch this movie anytime, and I can laugh at every single drill sergeant joke that is made. I can
They're
sit
so
there and
thick.
watch Gomer Pyle get absolutely just deflated and just constantly just eaten alive by the abuse. It is just a fantastic movie, just in a great way to kind of portray Vietnam in a different light. They kind of gave it a different spin, and still dark and still has that dark tone
Oh,
of the
it's war. It's
war,
gotta have it.
but it's just one of those. I mean, on the cover of the movie, it says, and this to me, I never really noticed until later
You
on.
want sucky sucky?
Says in Vietnam, the wind doesn't blow; it sucks.
It sucks.
So, fantastic film. Will always
That was
be one of my
that
favorites
was a
to
great
continuously
choice.
watch.
Yeah, really
Stanley
nice.
Kubrick really did a good job here, and I know most people like that movie he did with A Clockwork Orange with I can't remember the actor's name now. Malcolm McDowell, who played in Halloween for
Hmm.
Rob Zombie. But yeah, I'm sorry, this movie's fantastic. Just
No, it's a
fantastic.
solid pick.
That
Well, he
is
did The Shining
very,
too. I
very good.
give him credit there too. All right, Andrew, 3.
Number three. Okay, so for number three, I picked Step Brothers. I had to put this in here. Like, I
Good
know
pick.
this movie. I know this movie. Like, for a lot of people, like, some of us are like, yeah, the movie's really stupid. I will say that is the whole point of the movie, is the stupidity. It's very highlighted in this film. This movie is definitely, yeah, it deserves to be on this list in my opinion because it's so damn funny. I'm sure, I know Rob for sure has seen it. Regular, you've seen it,
Oh my God, yes.
dude. This movie goes hard. Let me just say that. Super
I don't.
funny. I can always quote it. Like, and most people can like quote stuff back to me. It's just hilarious.
I don't.
Dale,
I
Dale,
don't.
no power tools.
The
How's my toothbrush? How's my
Yeah,
toothbrush?
there's just a lot of one-liners that came from that film.
Catalina wine mixer, guys. Come on now.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer. That movie. Yeah, the movie was just like when that came out. I think it's 2007, 2008 or something. That movie was so big, man. Like everybody was talking about it in school. And I was in like fourth grade or something or third grade. It was awesome.
Well, it's
Everybody was
difficult to
watching it.
hate Will Ferrell, I think. That's the thing.
Yeah,
He's an enjoyable figure on movies. So it's
yeah. Oh yeah, he's a heavy hitting actor for sure. I do like Will Ferrell for the most part. Sometimes he weirds me out. And
and he
Elf
was
can
putting
kind of
out like a funny movie almost every year at that point. Like he
yeah.
did
He's on a
obviously
spree.
Step Brothers, he did Talladega Nights, which I enjoy.
Yep, that's another
The
great
first
movie.
Anchorman. He did that weird movie Blades of Glory where he's a figure skater. He did.
Wasn't he in Zoolander too? Oh, that was before though.
Yeah,
That
he
was
was in
before.
Zoolander. Obviously, Elf. You could even go a little later too in some of the more recent ones that he did. I didn't mind the campaign with Zach Galifianakis he did. That was okay. I thought it was funny.
I
So
didn't see
good
that one.
choice. But Step Brothers by far has to be his best
Best movie.
It
Yeah.
has
Oh,
to be.
absolutely.
All right, number 2. We're getting there, Raghu.
Yes, now we're down to the nitty gritty. So my number 2, just cutting to the chase, is Django Unchained.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude.
I love it. I honestly, Tarantino is amazing.
as a director.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know about his personal life. I don't really know much about him, but he's a goofy guy. But yeah, Django is what a great story.
Everything about it, right? I mean, the story, there's just so much to say about Django Unchained. The story, the uniqueness, the spin, the twists, the cast, man. Freaking Christoph Waltz is so hilarious.
Oh, he is incredible.
And
Leo does a really good job too. Just he had to play a tough role.
He's
he had
phenomenal in that movie. He is so good.
I mean, he breaks the glass. He basically improv the breaking of the glass. That was him.
Yeah, it was a full. It actually happened. Yeah, during the scene, like he was acting, lost control, fully broke his hand, but kept going with it. But no, even man, like Jamie Foxx, phenomenal. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, and who would have thought in a slavery movie you could hate Samuel L. Jackson? Who thought? Only he can do that. Only he can pull that off. As a black man in a slavery movie, Samuel L. Jackson plays such a great white man.
Hateable character.
He's just too funny. He's great. I love him.
So yeah, my number 2.
Jamie Foxx is in it too, by the way. That's cool.
Yeah,
he's kind of the main guy.
He did really. He did really good in that movie.
He didn't have like a ton of dialogue, I guess. That's the thing. He was supposed to be quiet a little bit, but yeah, he played a good role. Up until the end of the movie where he started to kind of shine and really become the character. Just fantastic. One of my favorite endings too. The scene right at the end where he's got that pipe in his mouth and he's just smiling.
I think one of my favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes for sure. Really bad scene, but it's got to be the Jonah Hill cameo.
No, that's hilarious. That scene is awesome.
I'm never asking my wife to make these bags
so
again.
Funny. It's so funny and it's awesome. Then it blows up and they're like,
I think his whole purpose there was to make like the KKK look absolutely just stupid. I think that was the whole point.
That scene is great, dude. I wouldn't even feel bad for like having that be one of the best scenes in the movie because that was so funny. They're just like they're all like, "You guys make your own damn sheets next time." Like my wife worked hard on these.
Yeah,
and then it's
fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot. Everybody in that movie did so great.
Yeah, no complaints.
It's so damn good.
Oh man, what's the name of the lead actress?
Are you talking about the girl that played Broomhilda?
Kerry Washington.
Yep.
Yeah, she did good in that movie too. She was a really good actor.
Well, Rob, what is your number 2?
Well, my number 2 is in the same concept here, but it's my favorite Tarantino film, The Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, I was so debating on this, putting on my list.
The movie itself is great. Great story. The ensemble of actors they put in here is fantastic. But this movie is nowhere near what it is without Christoph Waltz playing Hans Landa, one of the most just horrifying, most just this intimidating presence with a smile on his face. He just does such a good job. And they're thinking, we're going to go into this theater. You guys are going to speak Italian. No one else is going to speak Italian. Well, who speaks Italian? Christoph goddamn Waltz. He uncovers it right away. it is just like you can't beat this guy. You just can't. Up until the end, unfortunately, when you'll be shot for this. More like
You'll be
shootout. I've been
shot for
chewed out
this.
before.
I've been chewed out a few times.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
really,
Brad
that
Pitt.
movie, just like just like Django Unchained, just great actors. Everybody did so good.
And just the beginning, the start of the movie is fantastic. The end is great. Everything in between is great. The bar scene where he puts up the wrong three fingers. It's all just like subtle, until you really understand. It's like, oh, why all of a sudden has he been outed? Well, I guess Germans put up a thumb for a three rather than the actual three fingers. They do it different than everybody else. And they're noticing accents, like, oh, you're from Frankfurt,
hmm
whatever. It's like the little things that he throws in there. It is great. And uh,
Absolutely.
just fantastic movie. Honestly, it was very difficult not to put it at number one. I was so close.
No kidding. I don't know why you didn't.
But what's your number two, Andrew? I gotta hear this.
So, we have a tie with me and Raghu. It is Django Unchained.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, we can go on and keep talking about this all night. Honestly, that movie is just so good. Yeah, I mean, we covered most of the key aspects of it, which makes it one of the most amazing films ever. But I just love the diversity of like execution with like changes in scenes. Like, we just talked about like the whole KKK part where it's kind of funny. They added that spin in there.
Hmm.
You got Christoph Waltz. He's so like precise and professional and like well put together and stuff. And I just love his character. He's just such a clean, like professional person. And then Samuel Jackson. Oh, he's just super funny in that movie. You gonna let him sleep in the big house? You got a problem with that? No. Unless you got a problem with, unless you want to burn the sheets. He's like, those are my sheets to burn.
Yeah,
Leonardo was talking about that. But yeah,
unbelievable.
I had to also stick that on my list because it's just, yeah, Quentin Tarantino did an amazing job with that movie. It just encapsulated so many great things in that time. A lot of attention to detail and stuff. It was just awesome. So yeah, that definitely landed number two on my list.
You know what I find funny about that film is when he finally uncovers that Django is, he's trying to find this woman. He realizes that they're together, and he pounds his hand on the table. He describes the tabletop. He puts the adjectives and everything to it. It's like, who does that? Who wrote this part? Because he does it to a T. Like, this is what the tabletop is. And it's like, what? Just incredible. Oh, what a great film. All right, Regu,
Absolutely.
number one. What is your all-time
Drum
most
roll, please.
watched,
Well,
bingeable, entertaining film to you?
I'm gonna throw something on throw a little call an
Curveball.
audience here. Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna
yeah, you know
know
what? How about this? Do we have any honorable mentions? Anything that missed the
that's
list?
exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, I got. Let's go
Oh,
through
boy.
and maybe let's have one honorable mention that didn't maybe hit the list. I already gave a couple, but I'll give one more. I did not make my list, and it is a Tarantino film,
Pulp
and it
Fiction.
is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh,
Uh, Now I know what you guys are thinking, and it's
Well,
more
it's
of
a good
a
movie. A little
yeah, it's
drawn
a
out,
newer
but
I
film.
actually have not seen it. I need to watch it though.
But
Yeah, I've heard
I
a lot
say
about it though.
I say Once a Time Upon Hollywood for sure, especially the ending scene. Rob, you know what I'm talking about.
oh, it's a good movie. They ring you in a lot of things. I think with that film, Brad Pitt does a great job. Um, Leo kind of he's kind of there to be there. He's just kind of depressing, and that's his character though. His character is supposed to be this depressed, kind of just finally
Washed up
on his
actor.
way out. Yeah, doing the spaghetti westerns and stuff.
What's
Good
your
movie though.
What's your honorable mention, Rob?
Well, a movie, I had a few that didn't make the list. And one of them it's actually my favorite Robin Williams movie, and that is Dead Poets Society.
Oh,
Um,
hey,
Yeah, that's a
dude,
it
great
missed
movie.
my list.
great
I can watch
movie.
it anytime. Again, great ensemble of young actors. You know, you think of, I
Absolutely.
mean, Robin's in it, and he obviously is a significant part because he's the
Yep.
basis for the actions that take place. But Ethan Hawke, um, obviously they had. Well, I guess he's not young, but Red Foreman from that '70s show, he's in the movie. Plays
Yeah,
more
he's
of a
a dick.
serious role.
He's a dick once again.
um, they got a lot of good. Josh Charles is in it. He's been in a few shows that I've seen, and but really good movie. Uh, I think it's set in, if I'm not mistaken, like the 50s, and an all male
Oh,
school. So all
yeah, maybe a
males, no
little later.
females. What do boys like? They like girls. So when you're constantly disciplined and taught all these things, it's like you got to kind of escape a little bit. And Robin Williams gives these guys a little bit of a chance to express themselves, and just a great movie to kind of show you that what, don't be afraid to step outside your boundary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a
Andrew,
lot of great
what
symbolism in the movie.
what movie missed your list here, Andrew?
So this is a bit of a different vibe than what most of the movies we've been mentioning, but I really, 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 really like the movie Transformers, the first one. It's
Okay.
Shia
just
LaBeouf.
I love action movies. I love war movies. Like Saving Private Ryan. So I know these are like alien robots and stuff, and it's a little different, but technically
Good
still a
movie.
war. Yeah. So Michael Bay, dude, he like nailed it on this
Say,
movie.
I like the
2000.
Transformers.
Yes, dude. The first three are so good. The rest of them are okay. But yeah, this movie was just so like action packed and explosive and so much detail. 2007, in my opinion, was like the peak of media, of games and video games and movies and stuff. All that stuff was at its peak performance. Like
If you didn't catch that,
I
he's
could,
saying he does not like the Mark Wahlberg one. All right, guys.
No, I don't
well,
either.
it's not that I don't like it. It's just first three
Oh,
with
you can be honest about it. Shia LaBeouf and
was
Megan
sensitive,
Fox kind of did
sensitive
their
man.
thing.
Yep. And Megan Fox is only in the first two.
I was gonna say
And
that was
she
her
got
debut, wasn't it? That had to be
the
her debut in
what
terms of
see.
like major motion picture before she became such a major star. Well, I mean, I guess she didn't really do a ton of movies, but um,
Yep.
she kind of got a lot of notoriety from that. But
Yep.
the
And everybody
Transform,
was
I
just
like the Transformers
drooling over
cartoons.
her.
That's what kind of got me into it. So
Yeah, I never really watched those too much, only a little bit. But yeah, this movie was super close to making it on there. I just decided that it wasn't going to be on there just because there's a lot more serious toned, awesome movies I can put on here. But yes, amazing movie.
um,
Definitely recommend watching it.
Yeah.
I gotta say a movie that did make my list as well because I know you guys put some comedy in yours and stuff like that, and Rigo
Yep.
put a horror film. A movie that I can watch and I can quote almost to the T. Friday.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
with,
yeah,
with
dude.
Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. I can quote that movie to a T. The only reason it misses is because I kind of I stopped watching it now and I can pretty much play the movie in my head. I don't have to watch it anymore.
I got $20.
But anyway,
That is a
all
great
right.
movie.
Number one favorite film, Regu, do the
I
honors.
feel like I need a drum roll or something. It's
It's gonna be very difficult. My mic doesn't pick a lot of things up.
How's that?
my
Sound
number
like a
one,
fucking exhaust.
without a doubt, the most bingeable film, Super Bad.
Oh, nice. I was not
Well, I see.
expecting
I
this.
knew somebody was gonna put it in their list. It was either gonna be you or
Oh,
Andrew. I knew it.
I think
It almost made it.
every day in college this was on in the background on my TV. Um, there's what not to say about this film, right? It was so good.
So
Seth
funny.
Rogen. I mean, Seth Rogen started writing this film in loose drafts when he was 13 years old.
Also a 2007 movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, So just so much thought put into it. Yes, it's funny, and I think to an extent kind of boomed a new age of comedy films and like coming of age stories. So
Oh
really
yeah.
good for sure. Acting was great, story was great. Just something that I could watch on repeat, and I really appreciate the amount of thought that was put into it. Yeah, it's a fun, kind of stupid, goofy movie, but a lot of life lessons learned in terms of like friendship, coming of age, things like that too. So,
Oh
without
yeah.
a doubt, super bad, my number one.
Well, I think the biggest
Oh,
moral out of that
fantastic
film
choice.
is, if your cousin comes all the way up from Scottsdale, you better sing. All right, you got to do
Singer, Scottsdale, Arizona. I was so close to that area. I should have went there, dude. I was within 20 miles of it. Damn it.
My cousin came all the way from Scottsdale, and you're not going to sing for him.
You're not gonna sing for him? All
That's
right,
just one of
this
those
was
parts in that movie that they honestly they didn't need that part in there, but it
It's
oh
made it
yeah,
right
oh
so
yeah, they
much
did.
better.
They needed
It's
it.
just funny. That is my favorite part in that entire film. I
That
love it
is like great
because it's just
part.
the weirdest group of guys in there. You got this greaser looking guy, this hippie, and you got this dude that's on coke. You can see the veins in his neck. His cousin's like this sleaze. He's got no like real emotion to him. Just the weirdest group of guys in this room, and then they're listening to the Guess Who. These
Yeah.
eyes.
These eyes.
Oh, what a
La, la, la. Yeah, that movie, I definitely agree with Raghu, though. It definitely opened up a lot of doors for films that came after it.
heck
And,
yeah.
it's that raunchy, like, cheesy, like, greasy humor that is so, like, rich. Like, it's a movie, like, you can quote it. Literally, you can quote so much stuff from it. And, like, most people will get it. They'll understand it. It's awesome. So
Heck yeah.
good.
Rob, drumroll coming your way. What is your number one topic? Most call it bingeable movie of all time.
Let me understand this. Because, maybe it's me. I'm a little fucked up. But I'm funny how? I'm funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I fucking funny? Goodfellas, number one. My all-time favorite.
Fellas.
I absolutely love it. Again, Scorsese just hits the nail right on the head, man. He does a great job. Um, Joe Pesci plays just a hateable, scummy person. When he shoots Spider in the foot, ends up killing him later on in the movie. Spoiler alert! But not that people are going to be too concerned. It was a very, very minor role, but yeah, great movie. Just fantastic. If you watch the prison scene where they're cooking a meal, and how do you not like enjoy that? Like
Right.
subtly, just like find that weird ASMR feeling with that.
Yep.
Oh, but too many onions. You gotta. It's just
Slice
great.
the garlic
He's
paper
slicing
thin.
it with a razor blade, so thin, so it disintegrates. It's like, God, I
Melts right
want to
in the
try
food. Yeah.
that.
Sorry, I didn't give a good reaction. Apparently there's bats in the attic or above the ceiling of my house. Apparently they're flying around making noise. So the
Man.
siding was redone on the house and they're trapped up there now and they're freaking out and they're looking for holes apparently to get out of. I can hear them or whatever. So yeah. Great movie though. Yes. That is another fantastic film. I see why you put it at number one, seeing as though you're a fellow Italian.
Oh Jesus! Hey, The Godfather wasn't even on my list.
That's crazy.
I
That's
don't.
a good movie. There's a lot of movies that can like easily like step in
Oh,
front of
the
it.
thing
At
with like
least I
mob
think for you.
films, the thing with mob films is yes, The Godfather is great. Don't get me wrong; it's a classic. But Goodfellas it's real. It's a real story.
You know,
It's Henry Hill telling his story. He's a guy that was a rat in the mob, and he gave a good story to it. Robert De Niro plays just another hateable character. It's just, no, it's right around the corner. Just go right around the corner. Trying to have somebody
yeah,
whacked.
trying to whack them.
It's like, man, this guy is absolutely just despicable. And the soundtrack is great. The acting ensemble is great. Joe Pesci when he kills Billy Baz. go home and get your fucking shine box. It's just great. Everything just plays into it, and it's a good movie. Very easy to
Very good.
watch anytime, and I would be entertained every single time. Just awesome. All right, Andrew.
Number one, Andrew.
All right.
What do, I'm Django
So
the worst.
no. Okay. Gotta do it to him. Emperor's New Groove. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
Oh God.
oh God.
Just kidding. No, another honorable mention. No, that is a really good movie. Just another nostalgic movie for me. Nope. Anyways, the winner is Inglorious Bastards for me.
Terrence.
I
All right.
can. Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, his movies just hit so hard. They're just like they get up there. They're fantastic movies.
So entertaining.
It's so dude, there's so much stuff in it. It's just crazy. So many details to pay attention to. World War II was a very dark time and um, very horrific, crazy time to be alive. And there's just a lot going on. And this movie just like takes a lot of that, and it really, he really like focused on a lot of the things that were happening
Mhm.
during that time, like from like interpersonal like interactions with each other, like, and it's just the whole fantasy of like them killing Hitler and stuff. It's super cool and it's awesome and it's crazy, and I love the Bear Jew and all the different characters and Christoph Waltz in there. He's just that dude is such a good actor, man. I wish he was in more movies, but yeah, he's
Totally agree.
phenomenal. Fantastic film. Definitely just took number one. It was fighting number one with Django Unchained for a while and
Yeah.
a couple other movies, but then I'm just like, you know what? I gotta pick this movie I can watch over and over, and I will not be bored. I can watch it and just enjoy it through and through. And it's just will always be a fantastic movie.
Good pick.
Just kidding. It was actually B movie. Ha!
Oh,
You guys thought and I'm just kidding.
you
Blair
don't like
Witch.
them. You don't really know why you don't like them. All you know is you find them repulsive. Consequently, a German soldier conducts a house suspected of hiding Jews. Where does the hawk look? He looks in the barn, he looks in the attic, he looks in the cellar, he looks everywhere he would hide. But there's so many places it would never occur to a hawk to hide. However, the reason the Führer has brought me off my Alps in Austria and placed me in French cow country today is because it does occur to me. Because I'm aware of what tremendous feats human beings are capable of once they abandon dignity.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
memorized.
got
Oh
that
God,
down.
because again, that's why it's number 2 on my list. It's not number 1 because Goodfellas just has a place in my heart
That
that
hits
it'll always
different
be
for
there.
you.
But this movie again, it was a toss up between Goodfellas and Inglorious Bastards for me. They're very very close.
Well, I'm upset. I'm the only one who had Superbad on my list.
It was on there.
An
I
honorable
had it on
mention.
there. I had to trade it out for Step Brothers. I had to do it.
I mean, I made a list of like various films that I've thoroughly enjoyed, and I put even a horror film in there. I put Halloween 2, the original. One of my favorite horror films of all time. It just every film hits different for me. Everything, and
Yep.
I put animated films in my list too. Toy Story 2, Shrek. uh,
Shrek
I got
almost made it on there.
I got music films
3.
in there like 8 Mile and Straight Outta Compton. I enjoyed
Oh man,
sports
yeah.
films like Rocky 4. A movie that I probably could have put in my list that I didn't is American History X, and that's just because it's a little sad. Not really the most
Yep.
comfortable movie to watch.
Oh yeah.
Um, Django missed the list. Schindler's List ironically missed the list. I know.
Uh,
Uh,
One
so on and so forth. The Dark Knight even missed.
World War II obsessive.
yeah, mine what almost made the list for me was Remember the Titans. That one was almost on the list for me, but it
Oh
missed.
yeah, it's a good movie. Very good movie. Um, Denzel does a great job in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this was a very tough thing to create because, like, I had to go through and I had to rank the Tarantino films. I had to do that. I was like, okay, let me do that first, just to see where these ones would land. And only one of them made my list. Django is close, very close. But yeah, no, I think everybody's list is great because it's unique in its own way. Andrew's has a bit of comedy, drama, obviously war. Regu, you got a little bit of a mix. You got a horror film. You've got comedy. You've got a little bit of that.
I got a whole
What would
mix
you
in
call
there.
21? Is 21 more of what is that? I don't know how to explain that movie. That would be an action,
I mean, kind
adventure.
of. More of a, yeah, I would say adventure drama for sure.
Okay. So
It's
yeah,
it
you
is
got a nice mix, and
yeah.
Spider-Man is action, comic book. You know, it's a great film. I guess it wasn't the comic book one that I thought you would put in there. I guess I was thinking outside the box a little bit. I knew it would be Spider-Man, but I thought maybe Spider-Man 3.
You know, I'm really upset. Tommy Wiseau, The Room didn't make the list.
I don't know what you would be upset about. That film's a steaming pile of
art.
hoopla.
Art.
But yeah, no, I think everybody's list is great. I think everybody did a good job. Andrew has an interesting taste. You know, I knew Robin Williams would make it. I didn't think he'd make it twice, but he made it twice.
He made it
So that was
twice,
kind of
did he?
interesting. Obviously, you put Step Brothers. I did not expect Step Brothers, to be honest. That one was a little thrown off. Same with 21 from Raghu. That one I did not expect. I wouldn't even expect that movie to make anybody's list, but
Well,
that tells you we all got a unique taste.
that's all right. It was fun. You know, I would say perhaps next time we go through our top 5 horror movies next time. Maybe we start breaking down some genres.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah, I definitely like that idea.
I think for me, horror is going to be tough just because I've seen it's got to be, but for horror, it's got to be a film that like really puts you on edge. It can't be like, oh, I just enjoy it. No, it's got to like makes your skin crawl. And I can already tell you right now, The Strangers is on my list for that. That movie makes my skin crawl.
Mine is The Room, Tommy Wiseau.
No, stop it. You call it a horror? Yeah, it is a horror in filmmaking. You're absolutely right.
I did not shoot her. I did not.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, this was good. I'm glad that we could share our film opinions here. That's the greatest thing about this show. I know our last episode was a little dark. It was definitely not a fun one to really share into, but I wanted to kind of bring that up because actually Raghu has some family down in that country that Jonestown is originally from.
Yeah, Jim is my Jimmy. Yeah, Jim's
so
Jimmy.
That's our close tie here. Raghu's not from there, of course. He's born in the United States, like every other boring human. But you know, he's got family that is from Guyana, so that's kind of cool. You got a little. I don't know if they were ever tied to that. At least I hope not, because that's a dark part of history.
Briefly, my mom. So at the time, gosh, when was 1960? When
it was like 1970s. God, sorry, 79, something like that.
Whenever it was, either 60s or 70s. My mom. This happened in Georgetown, Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my mom was actually living at the time, and he and his cult were, of course, you know, going door to door, I guess, announcing that they were going to meet at this specific location, specific event, things like that. And, you know, my mom obviously didn't go. She was like, no, this guy sounds like a lunatic. Why should I go to that? Well, it turns out he was a little bit of a lunatic.
Right, she was.
And,
yeah, he was, yeah, she was not wrong.
Crazy to think that it sounds like she was face to face with the guy. You know, crazy to think that if she would have gone, I would not have been here today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing. I mean, I know they were down there for several years before the events took place, but I was just kind of curious because I know you have family that originates from Guyana, so I figured, you know, we might as well ask and see what
so crazy
comes up. And yeah, that door-to-door thing is like, wow, you know, they really were trying to recruit as many deaths as they can, couldn't they?
Oh yeah.
I'm glad.
That
I'm glad
is
a lot of Guyanese
freaky.
people though kind of looked at it like, ugh.
Yeah,
I
this
don't know.
dude is fucked. Wow.
But I think that'll do it here for us. I think we had a great
What a
episode today.
twist, dude.
I think we had a lot of
What a
fun
twist.
discussing our films. Obviously, Andrew's number one, Inglorious Bastards. Mine is Goodfellas. Ragu's is Emperor's New Groove. No, I'm kidding.
Good choice.
Ragu's is Super
Good
Bad.
choice.
So kind of a good mix.
Very, very interesting mix-up and a couple of
Yeah.
ties. I had some ties with you guys.
Well,
That's
I know
awesome.
you and I, we actually only had one film that on our list that was combined, and that was Inglorious Bastards, but in different spots. And Ragu
Yep.
was kind of completely outside of us.
I had Django.
Yeah, but I didn't put Django on my list.
Me and him tied.
Yep. So you guys tied there, which
Yep.
that's fair. Django barely misses the list, just because Inglorious Bastards is just so much better.
Yeah.
Christoph did such a great job. He did a great job in both films, but and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that's an interesting one. I do recommend people watch it. It definitely it's long. There's some parts that definitely are drawn out and unnecessary, but for the most part, it's great. The ending is absolutely unexpected and just brilliant.
Right.
But please do watch that and stay tuned for some more ranked episodes. I think we'll have to do some more because this is definitely
the
a
horror
joy.
one sounds really cool.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna do TV shows next, and The Simpsons is gonna make everybody's list.
TV shows? Are you kidding me? That's gonna be crazy.
All right,
Dexter's
guys.
Laboratory.
Any last words for our listeners?
No,
Thanks for
thanks for
coming on.
having me. Yep. Make sure
Always
to
a pleasure.
check out The Room by Tommy Wiseau.
Quick promote.
Not soon.
I did not teach you. I did not.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you to everybody for listening. Stick around for some more top 5 videos. We'll see you on the next one. Stay strange.